Hey guys, Nando here. I wanted to take a moment before the start of the show and have you like and subscribe to our channel. If you're watching us on YouTube, click the subscribe button and ring the bell to keep up with the latest videos and catch show releases early. Leave us a comment and let us know what you think of the show. If you're watching us on Facebook, please like and share the page and don't forget to leave a comment there as well.
What are you doing?
I'm giving them a moment to subscribe to all of our pages.
Oh. How long is a moment?
You know, like a moment.
Okay, moment's up.
No, wait, it's not.
Jerry, roll the episode.
Don't forget to subscribe!
Welcome filmmakers, fans, and friends to Indie Cinema Showcase. We're your #1 source for filmmaking, conventions, and everything in between. I'm Christina Carmona.
And I'm Nando Luis Roman. Together we'll be bringing you the best and brightest that Florida has to offer.
In today's episode, we'll be speaking with Todd and Timea, founders of Oddities Entertainment, an Orlando company that offers engaging shows and resources to theme parks, performing arts centers, and special events.
We'll also take you to some of our past events and then check in with Tim Anderson as he lets us know what films we should see before we die.
All right, let's get things started with our Industry Insight segment as we sit down with Oddities Entertainment, Todd and Timea.
Hey guys, in the studio today we have two faces you guys might recognize here in the Orlando area, Todd and Timea from Oddity Entertainment. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us. We're so glad to have you. Funny enough, I've worked with these guys for quite some time. Yeah.
I've been out to a lot of these events. So.
Yeah. He's seen me in all of the mermaid, elf,
princess
glory, eel. Yeah.
So guys, welcome to the show. So let's get right to it. How did Oddities Entertainment come about?
Woo. long time ago. Go ahead.
We met in the Ringley Brothers Brown and Bailey Circus, and when it was time to get off the road because we wanted to know, where the grocery stores are and to settle down a little bit, having been part of Family Entertainment, we moved to Orlando, which is the home of Family Entertainment, and started our company a number of years, almost 20 years ago. And it was in part because we wanted to bring our circus skills, the variety, the slapstick comedy to this market, but also because we wanted to guarantee a place that other people with similar interests could work for us and with us.
Right. That's fantastic. Now, you said you came to Orlando specifically for the family entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
So where have you guys been as far as
where have we worked?
Where have you worked? Yeah.
Okay. Well, Orlando obviously has lots of theme parks, so I think we can officially say we have hit all of them. And I'm even so yes, Disney, Universal Studios, SeaWorld, Cypress Gardens way back when, and Legoland as well. So we've been seeing and Busch Gardens in Tampa, and then lately we've had some appearances at the Tampa Zoo. So and those are just theme parks, but
we've also been at Fun Spot and the Orlando Science Center and various theaters around the area. So
everywhere.
Exactly.
Yes, everywhere.
And special events. That is, weddings and conventions and things like that.
You guys are all over the place. Do you guys find time to sleep at any point in your life? Or?
Not a lot.
Thank you for the green room.
You're welcome. You can take a nap at any time you like.
Yes.
So I know you guys are working on a project recently called The Secret Library. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. So The Secret Library was a combination of a lot of inspirations. Obviously, we've always loved improvisational entertainment, and we always dreamed that wouldn't it be amazing to have a place where people go in and you just, we walk into this magical world where everything, everyone plays along and a story evolves, and maybe pick your own adventure and so on. But that was a bit unfeasible with costs and such. It was still a dream. But then the pandemic happened, and there we were, I think, as most of us, just going like, oh, what now? Especially in our industry, it really disappeared.
Yes.
So in that moment, we did a lot of meetups with our friends online so that we could still fill our souls with something, in a dire situation. And that night, and we played games, and we just had fun. And as we finished one night, I looked at him and I was like, I think this could be something. I think we could bring people together and do the improv and create an experience where people could join in, but play a game maybe along the way, but maybe have to get the clues from actors who are playing a certain role. So really get you out of your living room and into a magical world, or not magical, but just a fictional world. So that was kind of the brainchild, and we're like, could we? And so he was like, yeah, I think let's look into this.
And now, the secret library, is it like an escape room type?
Yes.
Yes, and.
Yes, and. Good improv.
So it's a combination of a lot of things, and that was also part of our experiment of where we're going to push the scale with it. It's a little bit of escape room, but when escape roomers were trying it out, there were a lot of times they just want to solve puzzles without interaction. So it's very interactive because the clues are really happening from the actors and from the conversations and scenes. So with that said, there are escape room elements because there are puzzles to solve and such, but
there's also murder mystery elements without the murder in a lot of cases. But that feel of when you go to a murder mystery where you have to pay attention to what is being said, and you have to start to put those different loose ends together to find out what's going on. And then there's also just that immersive performance experience where you can be passive and sit back and watch our actors just chew up the scenery. So it's a combination of both, because some people were saying there's too many puzzles, and then someone else said there's not enough puzzles. But it wasn't not enough puzzles, it was stop talking to me so I can figure out puzzles.
right.
So we were definitely navigating of exactly what it was, and
it's an uncharted territory. There's no genre for this specifically, so it was fun to use our creativity to be able to really come up with something different and new, and from elements that we all know, but finding the right balance and navigate them.
And relating it back to, Timmy said earlier, was a choose your own adventure. Relating it back to film, where, sometimes you film an ending to a TV show or a movie, and then you audience test it, and they go,
we don't like
no,
that.
no, wrong. And so you reshoot or you go back and do it again. We found the same thing was happening here when we left it too open-ended and just let the audience choose whatever they wanted to do. Some people came back and said, "What? There's not really an ending."
So did we do it? Did we not?
No,
and we're like,
guide me, please.
Yeah,
Tell me where I need to go.
Exactly. No, you did it. You finished it.
did it.
But my friend said it ended another way.
Yeah.
Well, it did for them.
Perhaps.
I have to come do it again. Aha!
I need to go back to bed. So speaking about the actors, what do you guys look for when you guys are actually auditioning actors for all these different projects?
Oh boy,
so many things.
I know. There's a lot of people out there that are going to be paying a lot of attention to what you're about to say.
Right. So there's always
many
that.
different projects. So obviously, it's never going to be a black and white story. So,
But there's always that je ne sais quoi, that thing that spark that's there that you can't explain. So there's always going to be someone that walks into the room that you're like, yes, why? I don't know, but yes, right? But I think the other two things that we really look for are a passion for what they do. So if you are truly passionate about your craft, about the industry, and about the project that we're working on, that's going to show through, especially in an audition. So that passion is definitely one. And then kind of goes hand in hand, but not quite, is a truthfulness to performance. Again, on film, that camera's right there in your face, right? So you can smell the emotion that comes off of them. So in a lot of the stuff that we do, some of it is like with the Secret Library, where it is that screen right there in the audience's face. But even in the theme parks and the events that we're doing, they're close to people. We need to see that you believe what you're doing, that you're not just acting, but you believe it. And so that truthfulness that comes out in audition is a huge thing for us.
Right. Yeah. And I have to say, no one is looking at you with more of like a twinkle of an eye than kids who are in line for Santa Claus.
Right?
They're checking to make sure you're the real thing.
They'll ask you every single thing. I think that's made me, working with Santa has made me a better performer in general.
Because you can't fake it. They are watching every bit of move, and then of course they're like asking questions, because it's like, is this real? So yeah, you have to be on your toes and really be truthful about
It's probably the only time I've ever been told that I'm too tall. Like, you're too tall for now. That was the only time.
Yes.
So what's next for Oddities?
Well, we have
navigating the new waters.
We're navigating the new waters, just like everybody else is. We still have some appearances at some of the local theme parks. Right now we're auditioning for Creatures of the Night at Zoo Tampa. So that's happening. And as we head into the busy holiday season, and I say holiday starting from September here in Central Florida, as you well know, we will be running probably solid until the beginning of January with local performances, and the events industry is picking back up again for us. So we have a lot of short spot gigs that are coming out of that. But as tourism picks back up here in Orlando, and boy is it, there's a pretty big demand. So we're going to be pretty busy for the foreseeable future with some of that.
That's absolutely great to hear. Now, tell everybody where they can find information on you guys, auditions, all that good stuff.
Good.
You want me to do it? You want to do it?
Yeah, do it. He's so good at it. You got it.
All right. So if you want to check us out, you can go to oddities.com. That's ODDOTS.com. Or you can go to secretlibrary.io, and there you can find any upcoming performances that you can experience from the comfort of your own home. But we will also post auditions on our Facebook page, so check us out. That's Oddities Entertainment on Facebook, and we'll be posting auditions there.
Thank you guys. Great stuff.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming in.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And you've gotten to really meet them.
I know.
He feels like
I
he knows
feel
you
like I
guys.
know you guys.
If you would like to be a guest, have something to promote, or have your film featured on the show, visit us at IndieCinemaShowcase.com. Watch past episodes and help support the show by buying some of our merch on our online stores.
Follow us on our socials, Facebook at ICSTV and on Instagram at ICSTV Show. You can also reach out to us by emailing us at ICSTV@yahoo.com.
Hey, I'm Todd.
And I'm Timea.
And we're from Oddities Entertainment, and you're watching the Indie Cinema Showcase.
Welcome back, but now it's time to go on location with ICS. In this episode, we visit the Florida Film Festival, which is now accepting submissions for 2022.
It's a good story, great cast, and under the direction that Mr. Benkowski gave us, we were able to tell a story that everybody can relate to, particularly in light of the pandemic. It's pretty comparable to a storm in that it's affected everyone, from the richest down to the poorest. Everybody's been hit by the pandemic, as everybody here in Florida was hit by the hurricane. Florida is capable of handling any natural crisis. The people came together as I said, I think it's an example the rest of the country could follow. It was well done.
Hey guys, I'm here with Katie Skip at the Florida Film Festival. Katie, thank you for joining us today. So, can you tell us a little bit about the film that you have here at the festival?
Of course, yes. Florida Woman is here. It's my directorial debut, actually. It's a short documentary about a Florida man's story, but of a Florida woman named Mary Thorne, who is fighting the state to save her pet alligator. So it kind of gives a little bit of a glimpse into the person behind the headline.
Now, what made you decide to come up with this type of story?
So I had seen a lot of the Florida man stories, and often it felt like they were coming from this place of, a sensationalist media and ridicule, and I really wanted to understand who were these people behind the headlines. So I kind of was digging into various stories, and I came across Mary's, and I just felt like there was a lot more to say, a lot more to tell, and I wanted to know who she was. And when I got there and I met her, I just realized she was this incredibly empathetic woman that really had rescued and gave life to this alligator that would have otherwise died in the wild. And the media kind of took her story by storm, and it kind of got out of her control. And she ended up using the media actually in her favor to end up saving the alligator. So really just telling that story.
That's awesome. And it is true. Like nowadays, any sort of headlines can be turned into a meme or some sort of like comical thing. So it's good that you're actually kind of going behind the scenes of what's happening with the story and bringing to life the true story behind what was actually happening in her life. So what made you decide to choose the Florida Film Festival to premiere your film?
Well, I mean, I couldn't think of a better place, honestly, for it to premiere. Mary and her story just happened, pretty much down the street. And I feel like it's really the setting that, one, I think Floridians just will really love this story, and two, I think it can reach a broader audience. But I mean, this is an amazing theater and place, and so it's been incredible so far.
Now, are you a local filmmaker?
I'm from Miami, Florida, born and raised Floridian. I'm living in Los Angeles now, but this will always be home.
It always brings you back, doesn't it?
It does.
So
the humidity.
We can live without that.
Yeah.
So if we want to find out more information about the film, where can we go?
So I have a website, cskip.com. Right now, hopefully through things like this, you can learn more about the film. The film is premiering here, as well as screening at the Sarasota Film Festival at the end of the month, and then the Maryland Film Festival. And then hopefully it will, have a digital online premiere in the near future, but details to come.
Hey guys, I am here with Marcos and Chris from The Old Ways. Guys, thank you so much for taking some time to speak with me today. So, first, I want to know, what is The Old Ways about? Give us a little synopsis.
The Old Ways is about a woman, she's a Mexican-American who returns to her ancestral home, and in the southern tip of Mexico in an area called Veracruz, and she's captured by a bruja, which is like a witch doctor, and they believe that she has a demon inside of her, and they're not going to let her leave until they exorcise it.
Oh, I'm sold. All right, so where did this idea come from?
I was trying to figure out a story we could tell that was scary, that had some personal connection and some cultural identity, and really wanted to try to do like an exorcism story, but from a point of view that we haven't seen many times, or if ever before, from this very Latin American perspective. So I kind of went back to some of the stories that my mother had told me of growing up in Puerto Rico, of brujas, of cleansings, of things that just felt a little different and ancient and kind of interesting to search at. And once we started wrapping the story around that, we discovered it was a really unique and exciting take, and we could just be a lot more fresh with it. So we were thrilled. Chris started doing a lot of the research and diving in, and we kind of went back and forth on the script to keep adding all that wonderful research in and all this texture in, and really trying to make something unique.
Not only does the story sound really cool, but it has to have that scenery to match.
Yeah.
So where did you shoot this?
Well, we shot a good bit of it in a sound stage where we built a nice little environment for our movie. But like you said, we needed to know what was outside that sound stage. So we actually flew to Puerto Rico and flew and shot inside of the jungles there. Beautiful, beautiful topography. We found this amazing cave, which is a central location inside of our story, called La Boca. And the cave was in Camuy, And we knew the moment we saw it that was exactly where our story had to kind of, be centered around. So it was wonderful to shoot there.
Wow, you guys have something really great going on. So, if people aren't here to catch this film, it screens tonight, correct?
Tonight, yes, Friday night.
Where else can they see it? How can they find out more of your work, or where to find out where it's shooting next?
Yeah.
Or screening next.
So if you missed the premiere tonight, which I would assume you are missing the premiere tonight since it's well after that, it's still available to watch virtually at the Florida Film Festival, so please tune in if you're in the state of Florida. Beyond that, we can't make an announcement just yet, but let's just say it won't be that difficult to stream it in the near future on a certain service. And if you'd like to find out more details about the movie or where it might be playing in different festivals, you can go to theoldwaysmovie.com, and you can follow us on pretty much all social media at The Old Ways Movie.
Wonderful. Well, thank you guys, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I look forward to watching this film.
Great, I hope you do.
All right, thank you.
Hey guys, so I'm here with Tim Anderson. Tim, thanks for joining me today.
Oh man, I'm so happy to be back.
I feel like we were just here recently. Tell me what's been going on.
I mean, I feel like this festival's never ended. I feel like it's like a 2.5-year process of programming it. But, we're back. It's April. This is the normal spot, and we're having the 30th Annual Florida Film Festival. So
Now, for those of you joining us, you recently had the Florida Film Festival back in August. This is correct?
yeah, we delayed last year's, obviously, because everybody was locked down during April. We were able to pull it off the second week of August, 14 days. And we literally turned around, walked out from the final day, and opened to the 2021 Florida Film Festival.
So you basically have a pillow and a blanket in the back where you sleep all the time?
They don't give me comfortable things. I just have to sleep on the floor.
So tell me, how was it having to do such a quick turnaround for this one?
I mean, it's hard because it does feel like there was absolutely no downtime. And even though there was a window where everybody was home last year kind of doing nothing, and we were running virtual aspects of the Enzian, and we were talking to filmmakers about how to pull off a virtual festival, plus teaching ourselves how to do one. So there was like a split between programming the normal festival and then programming a virtual festival. This one we came in, put the teams back together, went through our 2,000 plus submissions. January started putting it all back down together, kind of knowing we were going to do a very similar festival, single screen Enzian 14 days with a hybrid virtual platform. And at least we knew how to do it. The difference is, though, it felt much more concentrated because we had to do both of those disparate elements at exactly the same time when they were actually split by several months last year. Even though they happened at the same time, we had a much longer build out. And this one we had our same kind of basically like 6-week build out from the time we finally picked the last movie till we were announcing the schedule. And in that window, you have to build the infrastructure for everything. Right. I think going into the festival this year, we didn't know what kind of material we were going to get from the filmmakers. Most people were not working last year. We were concerned that there'd be any features that completed post, but we've got a feature film that was shot completely during the pandemic. People in it are wearing masks, partially funded with stimulus checks. So the content was there. Artists were cooped up and they needed to get stuff done. A lot of them wrapped up their filming in March and had time in pandemic to edit. Hearing a lot of documentary filmmakers who are like, well, we couldn't do anything else but edit our movies. So
the world might have stopped, but creativity didn't. So, people got around it. So I know you're a busy guy, so I'm not going to keep you too long. Thanks for joining us today. If people want to find out more information about the Florida Film Festival, where can they go to?
Yeah, everything's on floridafilmfestival.com, including links to get to the virtual platform, which is on a much longer address that nobody wants to know from me right now. But yeah, everything's floridafilmfestival.com, and you can bounce to that from enzian.org as always, and social medias. Instagram's blowing up with all kinds of stuff that's going on too. So.
All right, well, Tim, thank you for joining us today. If you guys want to check out the Florida Film Festival, please go to the website, come out and check out some of the films that are playing this year. You'll have a great time, I promise you that. For our final segment, we travel to the beautiful Enzian Theater, where Tim Anderson is waiting to let us know which films we should see before we die.
Hey everybody, how's it going? I am Tim Anderson. I am program coordinator for Enzian Theater and the Florida Film Festival. And these are films to see before you die. This film I want to talk about today is a movie that I doubt a lot of people have seen, and I consider that sort of to be an absolute atrocity. And the film is 1975's Coulee High, directed by Michael Schultz. Coulee High is American International Pictures, Roger Corman, Sam Arkoff's company's answer to American Graffiti, Universal Studios movie directed by George Lucas. Pretty much one of the most famous coming-of-age teen movies of all time. And 1975's Coulee High, which is often considered to be the Black American Graffiti, and the two films definitely share a lot of DNA. American Graffiti set in 1972, Modesto, California, and Coulee High set in 1964 in Chicago, Illinois. Basically, both films are about a group of teenagers just out of high school who are moving forward to the next big thing in their lives. The soundtracks are wall-to-wall. American Graffiti's being sort of classic 1950s, pre-British invasion film songs, and sort of a heavy R&B Motown soundtrack inside of Coulee High as well. And it's one night, it's the misadventures of a group of teens. But the thing about Coulee High is that when I watch American Graffiti now, it feels like it takes place in 1962. It is a nostalgic film that has an ending that makes you remember maybe what would be considered a simpler time. Coulee High is so alive. It is so in the moment. Its issues are so current that it could have been made yesterday. And what I think is interesting about this film is to see how it has inspired other films. Lots of people will tell you that things like American Graffiti begat things as simple as Fast Times at Ridgemont High, all the way down to Dazed and Confused or American Pie. Coulee High is the genesis of Boys in the Hood. It is the genesis of Menace to Society, of so much what you would consider quote-unquote urban cinema today, movies that are talking about African-American experience. And the fact that it is set in 1964, in a time of racial upheaval in America, is not lost on the movie, but it is not what the movie is about. What it is about is these inner city kids who have the exact same kind of hopes and dreams and stupid things that they're going to do as all of these kids that are happening in American Graffiti. It's an inspiring film to kind of take a look at if you're a certain kind of a filmmaker who's really only been exposed to specific kinds of movies, and to understand universal truths that exist across the spectrum of humanity, but can also be utilized in cinema so that you can identify, I can identify, and you can identify with the characters that take place in a movie that is 55 years old, 60 years old, and is not where I grew up. I did not grow up in inner city Chicago, but yet I cry so much when this movie is over. It's an incredible film, it's a beautiful film. If you're a Boyz II Men fan, it's how the album Cooley High Harmony got its name. And the closing song is It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday, so if you're super into 90s R&B, you'll figure out where that song actually came from. It was written for the movie. I love it. I think you should see it before you die, and I hope you don't die. Thanks again, everybody, for joining me. I had a great time with it. I hope you love the movies. I'm Tim Anderson. Christina, Nando, back to you.
Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of ICS. We want to thank Oddities Entertainment, Todd and Timea, for sitting down with us, and Tim Anderson, as always, for those great movie suggestions.
Not for nothing, but the folks at Oddities really do some fun things.
I know, right? I've had the pleasure of working for them in the past, and it has always been so much fun.
I want to work with them.
I heard they're hiring for clowns.
Wow, really? To my face. Well, we hope you learned something new, saw something that you love, or got inspired to get off your couch and go make a movie of your own. Who knows? It might be good enough for us to screen on the next Indie Cinema Showcase.
Don't forget to follow us on our socials, Facebook at ICSTV, Instagram at ICSTV Show, and YouTube at Indie Cinema Showcase.
And if you want a chance to have your work, event, convention, or film festival featured on ICS, send us an email at icstv@yahoo.com.
Until then, the set is closed, and as they say in the movie business, that's a wrap.
See you next time. Clown? Really?
I think you get it.
You want a balloon?
Oh, no. You know what happened to me at Screamageddon.
Float.
No clowns.
They all float.